Hi, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Line by Line with my co-host Iron Root and our special guest, Woody. Woody is waving right now.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Hello.
today, today we will analyze the end of the movie, song by JOSH GROBAN, featured in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend TV show. I'll read it. So this is the end of the movie, but real life isn't a movie, no. You want things to be wrapped up neatly, the way the stories do. You're looking for answers, but answers aren't looking for you. Because life is a gradual series of revelations that occur over a period of time. It's not some carefully crafted story. It's a mess, and we're all gonna die. If you saw a movie that was like real life, you would be like, what the hell was this movie about? It was really all over the place. Life doesn't make narrative sense. We tell ourselves that we are in a movie. Oh yeah. Each one of us thinks we've got a starring role. Yeah. But the truth is, sometimes you're the lead and sometimes you're an extra. Just walking by in the background, like me, Josh Groban. Because life is a gradual series of revelation that occur over a period of time. Some things might happen that seem connected, but there is not always a reason or rhyme. People aren't characters. They are complicated and their choices don't always make sense. That being said, it's really messed up that you banged your ex-boyfriend's dad. Yeah, never do that. Okay.
So, at least they did the public announcements on that last line. Never do that, guys.
Okay,
All right,
so
the end of movie lyrics by Josh Groban. So this is the end of the movie, but real life isn't a movie. No, no, no. So this is the end of the movie. Roll credits.
yeah. So basically, this is the moment where a person realizes that it made a big mistake, and it faces her demons. Like the main character of the story is Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. So she faces her demons, and she walks in a dark alley. And guys, like, check out the video below. I will provide the link to the clip. She walks the dark alley. She did a terrible mistake, and that's her rock bottom. So this song is the song that represents the rock bottom, and that's how it starts. This is the end of the movie, but real life isn't a movie. So she realizes that she went playfully through her life, doing all sorts of crazy things because she was like, yeah, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. But then the moment she hit rock bottom, she understood, oh, that's real life. And all of the actions I did in the past have consequences. That's what I'm projecting.
Yeah, so it's really interesting because for me it's like she's using the end of the movie to make everything what happened before make sense, right? Because that's the story leading up to this point, to the end, right? And now that we know the end, now we can have an understanding, we can have a judgment about what happened. So in some sense, she's saying this is the most important event of my life, or the defining event of my life that contextualizes everything that went before. Yeah, Woody. So what do you think?
I think it's about a breakup. This is the end of our show together.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
is
like,
in a
hey,
sense.
now we can look at what happened. Review who all was involved. Roll the credits.
Yeah. You want things to be wrapped up neatly, the way the stories do. You're looking for answers, but answers aren't looking for you. So it's that idea of the easy way out of the thing.
Yeah, I mean, breakups are nasty stuff. You've got, there's an end to things, and there's a lot of like open loops and a lot of like open questions. Like,
Yeah.
you think when things are supposed to be done, well, you could just roll credits on a movie, but you can't on a relationship. It's like a hairy morphing thing. You want to be
Yeah.
done with it, but things don't wrap up neatly when human to human interaction is involved.
Yeah.
Breakups suck.
Yeah, and there's this sense, right? Like, oh, if I just have the answer, like I'm just like, if I have the answer, then it's done. Like then I can close the chapter, which is again not a movie reference. So the movie reference is more modern of closing a chapter. That's interesting. But yeah, like so they're looking for answers, and it's like, well, yeah, the answers don't want to be found, and it's like, yeah, but maybe there are no answers, right? Like maybe what you need to do is you need to become a new person, right? Like a person that is capable of dealing with what happened in the past, and don't look for answers, because the answers are not going to save you.
You're looking for answers, but answers aren't looking for you. Yeah, if it would be, it is a breakup song, and it's easy to cast, oh, let's call it the end of the movie, then you don't mess around, right? But then you walk and you face the consequences of the breakup, then you realize it's, oh, there is actually stuff after the breakup, right? And you have to things wrapped up neatly, but you can't. You are in a mess, and you're trying to find answers, but yeah, they are just not there, right? So it's really hard, especially when you are in that state. Yeah. And then there is this reveal, because life, I really love this line, is a gradual series of revelations that occur over a period of time. Yeah. So we just take step by step.
Okay, so do I go? Who goes on this one? Iron, you go.
Yeah, so I really like this gradual series of revelations as well. It's like there's a sense there that we think we know where we are, right? But then we find out that we don't. So more is revealed to us, and if you think of it as a story, right? Like you're writing on a new piece, and the new piece gives new interpretation about what happened in the past, right? And then she's saying it's occurring over a period of time, or well, it's the guy singing, right? Anyway, so yeah, so the time element is what holds these revelations, and looking at yourself and life in that way, I think is really good, right? Like it allows you to let go of the moment a little bit, because you know more will be revealed, and the way that you're engaging with what's happening right now is not always going to be the way that you see it, and that gives a sense of freedom. So in a sense, this statement is liberating.
Yeah. Woody, how is your series of revelations treating you so far?
Oh man, they need to stop being so like unscheduled. I'd like to have like the respectful common courtesy of at least like an event invite to be like, hey, this is when this is going to hit you, so you know I can like line up my day.
Yeah.
There's no like climax to the end of a relationship like there is in a movie where all these things get tied up and it's happily ever after. It's like, you know, shit, like some of it never like comes to fruition. Like there's no message other than maybe the universe just doesn't care that much. Just like, oh man, this is over, and there's like, wait, what was the point of this? Like, and you know, and I think the end of the movie is a really interesting concept because, like, you know, you pay for the show, right? But then there's 20 minutes of just like wall of text credits of army of people it took to create the particular production. Some people will see like 0.1% of that. Either they're immediately on their phone or they bolt out of the theater, and very few people sit around and wait to see if there's a stinger at the end of the credits. I always like to see the stinger, but I always, if possible, try to stick around because I've worked in the art space, primarily in video games, but basically, like, you know, it took a lot to put together a movie, but there's no credits at the end of a freaking breakup. Maybe, yeah, because there's no like, oh, here's a notification for someone unfriending you on Facebook. You don't get to see that as like their friends choose their side. It's just, you know, oh shit, this is over. And like one of you got up and left sooner, usually.
Yeah. You've all been there, Woody. It's not some carefully crafted story. It's a mess, and we're all gonna die. That's not a very positive song. Yeah.
Dark.
Yeah, I think we covered that just now.
Yeah, but still, to your point, Woody, that the events occur in the most unexpected way sometimes, right? We can tell we had been all day preparing for something, reading up on it, but then boom, did not happen, got surprised. And yeah, now we have to just walk by. Yeah.
No, I think it brings liveliness into life, right? Like the fact that it's not carefully crafted, it brings in the unexpected. I actually started writing a poem, and I called it Surprise. And yeah, like the unexpected drawing me in is the first line. And like I think we need that. I think that's good. But like if we see the unexpected as, oh, right, like now my relationship, the thing that my life revolved around ended, right? Like that surprise we don't like. But yeah, like again, right? Like maybe we can come to see that in a better light in the future.
Well, yeah. It's a mess and we're all gonna die. Doesn't it say that it doesn't matter what mess we get ourselves into, we will all end up the same way? Oh my God, that show got really dark today. Yeah, how are you doing,
Yeah,
buddy?
that is really dark. Like, public announcement: don't go into nihilism. That's nihilism. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Not all of us going to die.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Some people get to enjoy the ride before they die.
Yeah, let's all enjoy the ride. Right?
Bumpy sometimes.
Yeah. That's 100% fucking bumpy.
If you saw a movie that was like real life, you'd be like, what the hell was that movie about? It was really all over the place. Life doesn't make narrative sense.
Straight to that evening, Woody. Right? Does it make narrative sense to you, or it feels like a simulation in a sense, right?
Well, I think if there is a narrative, then it feels like a simulation. Because then there's some like plot line and things are happening. And you're like, wait a minute, is there free will? Like, is all this just sort of like set up for me to make choices and then like only have choice few? But like when there's no narrative, it's a lot more organic because like realistically, there's no person every single day going like, and action, other than, you know, maybe your alarm.
Yeah.
Like, that's on you. But,
Yes.
what the hell was that movie about? There's a movie like that where it's like a movie about like real life in like Germany in like the 70s at like some professional expo or something like that. It's called Playtime. It's really cool, but it is really like, wait, what the hell was that about?
And it was based on a true story.
Basically.
Yeah, it's the arts people. They do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like what it brings up for me is we need to make stories of what happens to us in order to be able to relate to it. All right. But like if what we're going through is too much like a story, then we get uncomfortable. So there's this place where you do want to have this overarching story, right? Like I'm doing well, like my life is still going the right way, but when you're dealing with the details, you want to live in that space of surprise where you can be excited about what's happened. You can enjoy it.
Yeah. I definitely, like when I'm looking back at my life, that one doesn't make narrative sense. Like people would not believe me if I would tell me exactly how my life went. They're like, what? Like, no. Yeah. I guess same for everybody, right?
Well, yeah, sometimes life is crazier than the story.
Yeah, you have to dim out the story, like to be like, oh, that's not believable, that's not believable, but it's based on a true story. Let's tune it down. Like, oh,
You have
yeah.
something to add from it?
Well, I guess we haven't gotten to the next stanza yet, but understanding that we already read the whole thing, each of us thinks we've got the starring role. That one hits home for me because I was an extra in a reality TV show back in
Nice.
2011. No, it's weird as hell.
Yeah, can you explain what it means to be an extra in a reality TV show?
Yeah, they had a toga party in the pilot episode, and I was invited to the party, and so we had to sign like a release for like a photography contract for that episode. And then like, I don't know, I was like friends with the people that were in it before, and I'm still friends with them now. I went to that one episode and it was kind of crazy because it was like a handful of people who were officially starring in the reality TV show, all attempting and or assuming the role of main character. Yeah, so really awkward social dynamics for a good like 12 months with that friend group. So like sometimes you're an extra. Oh wait, that's the next one. But like, you know, we tell ourselves that we're in a movie. When you can confirm to yourself that you're in a professional recording, it's weird, especially when it's about you and not like you pretending to be something. I think it's kind of funny because like this is about breakups, but I don't think this poem could have been written like what 40 years ago or something like that, really, because reality TV was not really a thing until the 90s, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's our generation thing.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, who's in a movie and going like, I'm the main character if real life is the time they're saying I'm the main character? That's because they're thinking of themselves as a reality TV star, a reality media star, or whatever. Influencers.
Yeah, I like this idea that you brought up where you're in reality TV, you are yourself, right? Like you're not really playing a role,
Mhm.
but you
Yeah.
are, right? Because you're still placed in this context of what's happening on the show, and you still want to present yourself in a way that the show requires of you. So there's this tension where there's this authenticity, but then there's still the role, and then like you said, right, like everybody wants to be the center of attention, or at least acts like they want to be, and yeah, like I can see how that can be a mess, especially if you have personal relations with all of these people.
Yeah. No, and then seeing how they were treating each other as a result
Mm-hmm.
on like really petty things where it's like, you know, I don't know, what is it, observer theory? Like your behavior changes based on knowledge that you're being watched and like recorded. It's like the teacher comes around, so you start working harder or something like that, or your boss comes around, you know. So like what happens when a camera comes around and is like, we're from the network?
Then the public persona comes out, right?
Yeah, or some warped version of it.
Which
You
is
know?
also a poem I wrote today. So that's all cool that draws
Nice
back in.
plug.
Yeah,
I support it.
I should
Yeah,
deliver
we
those
should do
poems.
an episode on just poems instead of lyrics. Okay,
Yeah.
let's move. The truth is, sometimes you're the lead, and sometimes you're an extra, like just walking by in the background, like me. Josh Groban. Shout out to Josh Groban. He's also a YouTuber, by the way.
What up, Josh?
He's a parody.
Please.
Sorry your ex banged your dad.
Yeah.
He wrote it for another ex, like the TV show X, not his own. Yeah, but
So-
probably, I'm sorry, Josh, if it happened to you, though. Like, sorry, man. Like, we don't know who wrote this episode.
Well, yeah. So they're setting up this tension, right? Like
Mhm.
sometimes you're the lead, sometimes you're the extra, and it's like, well, like you are the lead in some ways, and you're the extra in some ways, right? And like there's more other people than you, so you're more often an extra than the lead. And I think that's important. Like it's important to realize that about yourself, that yeah, like you're participating in the story of others, and maybe you're not the most important part of the world most of the time.
All right. I think there's one that like really stood out to me that I thought was kind of funny. There's like a meme right now of it's like main character syndrome.
Yeah.
And then the whole concept of being an extra. And so I thought that was pretty funny. And that one was where was it? There's two stanzas. We tell ourselves that we're in a movie. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Each one of us thinks we've got the starring role. Roll, roll, roll. But the truth is, sometimes you're the lead and sometimes you're an extra, just by walking by in the background, like me, Josh Groban. You know, that's not even titler. That's like whatever the author version of author titler is. He drops his own name. But I just really like that one. Like people think they're the lead or they want to be the lead. But realistically, I like to think of myself as like almost always an extra and just barely ever the lead. Because like more often than not, like you know, supporting people and what they're doing is often a really interesting way to enrich any given relationship because everyone's just thinking about themselves all the time. And so like I don't know. There's this concept. It's called sonder. It's it's like the knowledge or perception of how there's like, you know, this universe of experience in every single stranger you see, you know, going about your life. And it's kind of funny. It kind of encapsulates that, but everyone thinks they're the lead.
Yeah. Because life is a gradual series of revelations that occur over a period of time. Some things might seem that they are connected, but there is not always a reason or rhyme. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that as well. Right. So this is talking about projection, right? Like, oh, like this is connected to this. This person did this because of this reason, right? And then you're just drawing this story in there that might not be true. And it's important to be aware of the fact that that can be the case. Like maybe you're wrong, right? Like maybe what you think is happening isn't what is happening.
What do you think, Woody?
Yeah. No, it's interesting once you realize that most of the time people are more concerned with themselves than anything you might be feeling anxious about with respect to like potential embarrassment. Oh, they're gonna notice I look like this, or oh, what are they gonna think about this thing that happened? Reality is most of the time people are like just thinking the same exact thing about the dumb shit going on in their life. I'm not worried about you.
Yeah, we all people. Like that song is just like that. All of us had been at the end of the credits. People aren't characters. They are complicated, and their actions don't always make sense. That being said, it's really messed up that you banged your ex-boyfriend's dad. So that's the reveal, right? Why there is the end of the movie? Because there is something bad happened that led to a breakup. Or like that one is a post-breakup, more a revenge thing, but it doesn't matter. But yeah.
Yeah, and this is pointing at something that's really important, right? Like sometimes people do stupid things because of no good reason. And yeah, like that's true, and that's true about you as well. Like there's times in your life that you just do stupid things, and it's okay, and just apologize if you make a mistake of banging your ex-boyfriend's dad.
Oh, that song is not about me, obviously. Okay.
Damn, Cara, what are you saying?
No, I never did anything even remotely resembling to what that song describes. Although
yeah, some things might happen that seem connected. Like
but there is
right
not a reason or rhyme. Why? Yes, there is not a reason or rhyme.
Well, I think actually this guy has it entirely wrong. That whole scenario is in fact a movie. And if there's one climax to that movie, it might have been them banging. Everything that fell out after that was the denouement. But you know, on the positive side, you know, being the optimist that I am, I have to say, hopefully it strengthens, not destroys his relationship with his dad, because they now realize they have similar tastes in women. And like it or not, he's still his dad. That's always been the case, but they are now also Eskimo brothers.
We have to go. We will be off at the air. Guys, subscribe to this channel. We will see more of Woody in the more planned episodes. Bye.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make a donation link so that Cara can get a proper Zoom account.
I'm cutting that out. We are sponsored by Free Time, as always.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.